Take your cookie off the table. Day one, Valentine's Day and the single woman. What are single ladies supposed to do on Valentine's Day? Oh my God. I ain't getting no flowers. I ain't getting no cookies. I ain't getting no dates. I'm not getting no cards. What am I supposed to do, sweet baby? I'm going to tell you what you're supposed to do, girl. I'm going to tell you what you're supposed to do. You know what you're supposed to do? Take the cookie off the table. And I know. Somebody is going to say, yeah, Janice, you can say that you're married. I got married at almost 36. Don't forget that. Okay. I got married at almost 36 years old. I was past the baby making stage according to the medical people. Okay. After 35, cut it off. So I want to remind you that with me, everybody that's on YouTube talking about, I don't know everybody now, but I'm just saying the people I've heard talking about dating and marriage and all sex and stuff on YouTube, they've been married 55 times. Your girl Janice has only been married one time and the only time. And she got married at almost 36 years old. So trust me when I say, girl, I know what I'm talking about. I know what you're going through. I know how you feel. I know it, girl. Because you know why? I was there. I was there until I met my husband. I met my husband. I turned 34. I turned 34 October 11, and I met him November 4th. And from then on, girl, I had to worry about pitch flowers, candy, nothing. So I want you to know I understand what you're going through and what you're feeling. Happy Sunday. It's Sunday. I know I'm a little late this morning, but I've been up all morning cleaning. My little boy is so messy, but apparently it's all the kids that are messy. Okay, I think I've just come to terms. He's 7. That he's just a messy child. He loves to paint. Paints all over the place. Is on the floor. He's cutting this up. He's cutting that. He's experimenting. So I've been up cleaning. But you know what? That's one of the joys of being a mom. So thank you for your love and support. Thank you for almost 17,000 cousins. I appreciate you. Welcome to all of the new cousins. We're a little crazy over here, but we love one another over here. I want to thank you for those of you who have picked up my book, Take the Cookie Off the Table. And we're going to be reading from that book. We're going to do 7 days. Valentine's Day is next Monday. And so I want to talk about what are you supposed to do? What can you do? Okay. So thank you for those of you who have picked up the book. This is the t-shirt. I do have a new cookie t-shirt coming out soon. I got to email my virtual assistant. Okay, it should be, but hopefully today or tomorrow, you'll be able to pick that up from below. So thank you. Those of you who also picked up 23 Tasks Guide. Listen, girls, ladies, it is Valentine's Day. This is the time, season. The devil talk to you. Pookie, Ray, girl, go get him. Dish the cookie out, spread the legs, all this stuff. We're not going to do that. Okay? So we're going to do 7 days of Take the Cookie Off the Table. And Valentine's Day, if I remember correctly, is next Monday. Remember to be sure to subscribe. Let's get me to 20,000 cousins. Oh, by the way, all of y'all, my phony cousins, just phony cousins that's been talking about me and my Christmas decorations. Voila. Okay. I've put away the Christmas decorations and here's my Valentine's Day decoration. I'm missing some pillows. I need to go get me some more pillows. Even though my husband said, please don't buy any more pillows. I'm missing some pillows. I got to rewatch some of my videos because I feel like I'm missing some pillows. But yes, the Christmas stuff is away. Christmas tree we're going to do today. So 7 days of taking the cookie off the table. Excuse me. A lot of women fall during Valentine's Day. Because love is in the air and all of this stuff. Now, we know the history. Please don't put that in my comments. We're talking about Valentine's Day, love, candy, cookies, flowers, balloons, okay? A lot of women mess up during this time, right? Because Pookie, Rary, Tyron call you, girl, I want to take you out. I want to take you to dinner. I want to come over and cook for you. You know those ones. And you fall because you desire to be loved and held and appreciated and given gifts too. One of the things I don't like about the church, how the church teach on love and sex and marriage and all of that thing, those things, is that they invalidate your feelings, right? They make it sound like, no, don't desire marriage, don't desire love, don't desire sex. I agree, we need to discipline ourselves, but they want us to invalidate our feelings and not acknowledge our feelings. And what I am saying is we need to acknowledge the feelings. There's absolutely nothing wrong with wanting to be loved, wanting to be held, wanting to be kissed, want to give flowers to, want to be given candy, want to be taken out on dates. There's absolutely nothing wrong with that. The only problem with that is a lot of us, especially being single, is we get those things outside of the covenant of God, right? And we want to always remember that we are to do things in God's covenant to please him. And that is how we show God that we love him and we appreciate him for everything he has done for us, is living our lives for us and doing things God's way. Marriage, God's way. Sex, God's way. Babies, God's way. Now, we know over here at the church, girl, listen, we overlook one bum baby daddy, one big A, you know, the big A. Oh, honey, we forgive over here, okay? We grace over here, okay? Except for the picnics and the dust bunnies. And the dust is, one bad marriage, depending, okay? Because I know some girls from the other countries, they have to get married at 19. That don't work out. They get married at 20. That don't work out. They get married. Okay? We overlook all that. One mess up. Okay? We overlook stuff because we know people are young and you don't really understand. You really haven't, gotten the rhythm of riding the bike. But once you know better, we must do better. If you've been over here on the church, girls, for, I say, 3 months, we're not going to be making no more mistakes. We're going to learn to choose right? We're not going to be dishing out the cookies. We're not doing any of those things. We're not going to date foolishly. We're not going to choose the wrong men. We're not going to do any of that. So we understand that there's God's will and then there's the devil's will. And I believe the devil's will takes place most in our lives because we don't acknowledge or we don't understand that the devil also has a will and a plan for our lives. And every time we go outside of God and do things the way God did not prescribe for it to be done, we're doing it for the devil. I remember I had this really bad cough. Okay? I don't cough. I had a bad cough. I could not get rid of this cough. And I went to urgent care. They gave me some pills. It didn't work. So I called my doctor, said, I'm having this cough and I wouldn't get rid. She said, come see me. She said, Jan, I'm going to give you this medicine. I want you to take 1 teaspoon. You hear me, Jan? 1 teaspoon. I said, yeah, doc, I'm going to take 1 teaspoon. Okay. Went to the pharmacy, filled the pharmacy, came home. It was Friday night. I remember it was Friday night. I looked at the bottle. I was like, 1 teaspoon, girl. It was only 1 teaspoon in there. Girl, I was like, 1 teaspoon. Psh, turn it to my head. Went to sleep, right? But little Michael was younger at that time. Came home. Mike came home. I'm sleeping. I'm in the bed. The next morning, Mike took little Michael down to the church and we're having men's day or something. And for some reason, I'm over there on the floor laughing. Do you understand? Over there by the window. I'm on the floor laughing. And I'm like, what in the world? I laid right there and I went to sleep. I was sleeping on the floor. And I woke up. I said, what in the world? What did I do? What did I take? Went back upstairs and I read it says 1 teaspoon. I did not take 1 teaspoon, y'all. I just turned the bottle to my head because it wasn't a lot of medicine in there. It was one little bit. She telling me to take 1 teaspoon. I never took it again. I told her later, but she said, I told you to take 1 teaspoon. Okay, and the cough went away. Cough went away. So I always think about that when God says do it this way and we want to do it this way. You're going to be messed up. Okay, so in the take the cookie off the table, what we want to do, ladies, is we want to prepare our mind. We fall, we mess up because we don't plan. What they say, if you fail to plan, you plan to fail. So a lot of women, we start thinking it's Valentine's Day and I want flowers, cookies, candy. And so we don't plan ahead. We don't get our minds ready. We don't get our hearts ready. And we don't get our kiddies ready to take it off the table. So if you begin, this is why I wanted this book to come out in the beginning of the year, so we can begin, ladies, renew your mind in reference to taking the cookie off the table, and nobody is going to get it until there's a ring on my finger and we stand before God and man and take vows. Now, I know people have different feelings towards that, but you'll understand what I'm saying, okay? So in the take the cookie off the table, I'm just going to flip to a page and we're going to read, okay? We're going to read about, um, there's one in here in Ephesians. My girlfriend, she laughed. Okay, on day 29, so I'm just going to read from whichever page, okay? I'm just going to flip. Day 29, Ephesians 4:17-19. It says, with the Lord's authority, I say this, live no longer as Gentiles do. What are Gentiles? There's 3 groups of people in the earth, okay? First, there was Noah. From Noah became the nations. Out of the nations, God chose Shem. Out of Noah's 3 sons, God chose Shem. Out of Shem came Abraham. He is the father of the Jewish nation. So now we have the nations, meaning all the different people in the world. And then we have the Jewish people, the Hebrews, okay? Why people get, especially Black people, I just don't understand why we're so emotional. And we get mad because, not we, because I understand it. Get mad because the Jews are the chosen people. What are they chosen for? They're chosen for the Messiah. The Messiah had to come through somebody. So who did God choose? A man who had faith, Abraham. Jesus came from Abraham. Abraham died on the cross so that we can do what? So the nations can be saved. So then when Jesus died, Bible says, if you are in Christ, you're in Abraham's seed. So now here comes the church. So you still have the nations, you still have the Jews, and you have the church. The nations, or the Gentile people, are those that are considered without God. The Jewish people is God's chosen people. You can only be a Jew if you are from the seed of Abraham, and the church is made up of both Jews and the nations. You see that? Jews and nations, okay? So now this in 2022, the term Gentiles, when you hear the term Gentiles, I want you to flip your mind and say, well, Gentile means without God, okay? So he's saying here, Apostle Paul, he says, with the Lord's authority, I say this, live no longer as Gentiles. So live no longer as people without God, okay? God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Let me say that. As the Gentiles do, for they are hopelessly confused. Y'all, the Bible is being fulfilled in our day and time. There were scriptures I read 20 years ago I didn't understand, but I understand it today. Okay? They are hopelessly confused. Their minds are full of darkness. They wander far from the life God gives because they have closed their minds and hardened their hearts against him. So in other words, People without God has wandered, WANDERED, away from God. Okay. They are full of darkness, meaning they don't have the light of Christ. And because they don't have the light of Christ, they have wandered afar from God. They have closed their minds and hardened their hearts against him. So, in other words, that's for people who they're just living their lives the way they want to live. Now, let me say this. I believe everybody should live their lives as they want to. I choose to live my life for Christ. You might choose to live your life for the tree. Okay, I choose to obey God's word, marriage, sex, children. Now, have we all fallen? Yes, we have. But I'm talking about now that I am in Christ, I choose to live my life for Christ. Okay. They have no sense of shame. Mm-hmm. You'll see these girls out here twerking on Instagram in a thong. They live for lustful pleasure and eagerly practice every kind of impurity. Every kind, think about it. Every kind of impurity. Now, Janice's thoughts. I had to say something on this. When I was a young woman, I knew many young Christians who were participating in various sexual acts aside from penetration. They figured as long as the ding-a-ling wasn't going into the pretty kitty, it was not fornication and they were still virgins. I remember hearing of one young woman who was a virgin, was engaged to be married, who tested positive for gonorrhea of the throat. Now, can you tell me how she got gonorrhea of the throat? And I say insert emoji eyes here. Okay, remember I came up in the 90s. Y'all knew what was going on in the 90s, okay? So you had these girls and guys in church who was sucking the lollipop, but they felt that if they don't put the lollipop in the kitty cat, then it's not fornication, they're still virgins. Or I knew girls and young men and young women who they would put the lollipop in the toilet. You know what I mean? Toilet, toilet. And they would say, well, it's not sex. Well, that's because you haven't renewed your mind, because there's no kind of meeting of the lollipop and the cookie the lollipop on the cookie should not be meeting. Y'all know what I mean? Read between the lines. The lollipop and the cookie should not be touching. Now remember, all of us have fallen, okay? Okay, please don't feel condemned. But I'm saying is if you're renewing your mind is really renewed, there is no kind of nothing. No sucking the lollipop, no eating the cookie. None of that when you're not married. Now, when you're married, I don't tell married people what to do, okay? I know it's a big debate in the church. Listen, I mind my business and I mind my marriage, and I don't tell married people what to do. With the exception, if I will say, it's only supposed to be your husband and sweet baby Jesus. Well, not baby Jesus, sweet Jesus. That's it. Nobody else. I will say that. Married people shouldn't be having no 3-sums, 4-sums, 20-sums. But other than that, I mind my business. I mind my marriage. So, ladies, in taking the cookie off the table for Valentine's Day, there is no sucking the lollipop and eating the cookie. You know why? Because our minds are being renewed. And tomorrow I'll talk about what are you going to do? What do you do? Okay, remind me somebody. What do you do for Valentine? I want flowers, I want candy, I want cookies. What am I going to do? Okay. I love you. Let me know if you have picked up the t-shirt, Take Your Cookie Off the Table. I do have another one coming. I do have another Take Your Cookie Off the shirt coming that goes with this, that matches the book. So that should be coming shortly. And hopefully you have picked up this book. Let me know how this book is doing. Is your mind being renewed? Has it helped you? And remember to leave a glowing 5-star review on Amazon for me. Okay, I love you. I absolutely love you. Thank you. I appreciate your love and support. Thank you for picking up my books. Be sure to subscribe, share my channel out, and I will see you all later or tomorrow. Bye. Remember my wisdom book also. Bye.